Okay. Quick updates on math first. Just checking. You should have finished your exam, I believe.
No, it's
Wait,
on
what?
Wednesday.
Oh, right. Okay. Anything you want to talk about regarding exam?
No.
Mm. Mm. Does it seem weird that there's nothing, special to do for math exam?
Uh,
Sorry, yes or no? See your mic. Yes or no?
no.
No, not weird. Sorry, I'm saying it's not weird for you.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, cool. Yeah, to me, I don't have anything special for you. It's because I think your preparation is good. I've been saying that all the time. I don't think you'll be perfect, but I think you'll be very good lah. Just checking, are you somehow aiming to be perfect, to aim for a perfect score in the upcoming exam? Did you say anything? Mike again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I said yes. I said yes.
See, yeah, your mic has been like this for quite some time. Yeah, it disturbs our communication very much. What's going on here? Do you have a headset that you can use?
No.
Hmm, no problem. This is your mic from your iPad, am I correct? See. I think you're saying something, but I cannot make it out.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
see. Yeah. I don't want you to shout. I don't want you to shout. Of course, when you shout, I can hear you. But you will always reply something clearly, but I cannot hear it almost at all. Like, this is weird. Just checking that you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Okay, just now was good. So regarding the perfecting, right? Okay, so is that what you're aiming for in a test? Perfect score.
Yes.
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 To be fair, I didn't train you for perfection lah. To be fair. Will you be very unhappy if you didn't achieve perfection?
Probably.
Hmm. All right, maybe for the next exam, not for this exam, but for next exam, maybe we'll prepare for perfection. If that is what your
But
goal
this
is,
exam
then we
is
can.
pretty, I think it's easy to get
Mhm.
like full marks.
Pretty easy to get full marks. Again, not
Yeah,
very clear.
I did a mock paper, so like it should be okay.
Mm-hmm. When I mean perfection, I didn't mean that the topic is easy or hard. Of course, I believe you have mastered the topic lah. But I'm talking about, that pesky, carelessness of human being lah. No matter how well prepared a person is still a person, ma. We can still make mistakes, lah, right? That's the silly mistakes. Sometimes you will feel it as silly mistakes outside exam. What is this that I did? Something like that. Those kind of silly mistake is what stops us from doing perfection, lah, right? It's not the conceptual part. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. You don't do much silly mistakes, yeah, Vidushi, yeah, but you can do one or two, lah, which is to me is perfectly fine. But if you think that you want to, settle those silliness also, then we can start doing it for next exam lah. It's not a very instant thing lah, but it can be done quite not in a very complicated way. Okay. But that said, let me confirm that you have nothing to ask for the math exam.
I don't have anything to ask.
Okay. All right. Then for science, just checking for the current topic lah. Anything to clarify?
No.
All right. Then shall we do the Oh wait, no. Your science exam is around 2 weeks time. Am I correct? No, wait. One
Term
month time, right?
till
1 month.
term till yeah, 1 month.
1 month from now. Yeah, okay, right. Okay. So I guess we can talk about the exam topics more closely starting next week. This week probably still don't. Right. Okay. Again, final check. Is there any other subject that you like to talk about besides math and science? Any questions, anything at all? All right. Then we'll do the normal thing. We'll do a very normal discussion using a science paper lah. We're just sharpening your science at this point, right? Okay. So the usual thing lah.
Yeah, I'm doing 3B2. Let's do
One more time.
advantages of using wind turbines. Using wind turbines is a renewable source of generating electricity.
So that's an environmental advantage. All right. Okay.
Wait, is that okay?
So environmental advantage is totally fine one. It's always quoted as an advantage or disadvantage, right? So environment, one of them, done already, definitely. So what could be another benefit of using wind turbine? Besides cost, which is, they say it very vaguely, isn't it? What does cost even mean? A bit
Like
vague
the
here.
price of using that.
Like whether it is cheap or expensive.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, but how could you know? How could a student know whether a wind turbine electricity is cheaper or more expensive than other source of electricity? How could a student know? I have no idea. It's very weird. Okay, never mind. So anyway, they let's say they don't want us to answer that, which is fine, which is great. Is there any other advantage that you could think of?
I need to it
You need to what?
I need two advantages. So
Correct. So
I
can you
think
think about one more?
no.
Let's try the disadvantage first. Try that.
Oh, disadvantage, it requires space.
More space than a conventional one. True. So space is a concern.
Um
There's
I
an
also
environmental concern. You're saying? You say first. You say first.
environmental concern for disadvantage.
But not in terms of pollution, or as in not in terms of making the
Oh,
air dirty lah.
like less
But there are other concerns one.
space is required to be like cut down for the building of wind turbines. I don't know.
I cannot hear you clearly. Try again.
I said like habitats are required to be cut down for the building of wind turbines.
You mean to
I
cut
don't
down forests, for example, something like that?
yeah.
Well, obviously you shouldn't do that, and most wind turbine don't do that. But I know because that's the real life example. I'll just say that no, you shouldn't answer that way. You should answer in a more. I'll give you an example of an environmental problem lah. For example, the birds. For example,
What's up there?
the birds. Yeah, the birds can get killed by wind turbines. That's a simpler answer, I guess, from an environmental point of view. So it will disturb the local ecosystem lah. I mean, wind turbine being very big, something like that.
So
I mean, here's a standard way of saying it. You cannot put wind turbine on the path of migration of birds, okay? Which is to say it will disturb other forms of environment. I mean, bird is one of them, something like that.
so using wind turbines, um
and endanger
endanger the lives of birds.
birds most of the time. Yeah, just in the same way that a skyrise building will also kill certain amount of birds lah in town. That's especially glass skyscraper. They'll just hit the glass, something like that. Environment is a very favorite angle, so don't assume that there's one advantage for environment, therefore there is no disadvantage for the environment for another point of view. You will notice that probably the birds are minor lah compared to air pollution, but still it is a disadvantage. I'm saying this just because advantage and disadvantage are very commonly evaluated from an environmental point of view. So use that to spark your thinking lah, in case that's something new. Another advantage, disadvantage is definitely safety. That's also an angle that kind of easy to think about and always very popular, very acceptable as an answer. Think about the advantage in terms of safety. Think about the disadvantage in terms of safety, if you can. Anything first. It can be disadvantage first. It can be advantage first. You can request more hints.
But like, isn't it correct if I say that space has to be like
From a safety point of view, what do you think about space?
it's not safe for humans?
Your mic, okay.
It's not safe for humans.
No, I don't want you to scream. I don't want you to scream. Of course, when you scream, I can hear you, but that's the problem, isn't it? Wait. Let me do something. If I cannot do something, then your side have to do something already. Right? The reason why I say this is because most other students using iPad doesn't seem to have this problem. So I don't think it's an iPad problem. I don't think it's a connection problem. If what I'm doing right now doesn't help, then gotta discuss what you must do. Okay, again, what is your opinion on the safety and space angle? Okay, can I give you some hints, perhaps?
Yes.
All right. So if you want to think about it yourself, so to speak, right? Compare it with other forms of electrical generation, because a wind turbine generates electricity. So many other forms of electrical generation. Can you just name one or two for comparison purposes?
What? Can you repeat?
Power plants. What type of power plants do you know?
Power plants, nuclear power plant.
Okay, nuclear. That's one. Nuclear power plant. Okay, one more, maybe. Hydro, water. Yeah. Hydroelectric, whatever. Water.
Yeah.
The point is it generates using water, right? Okay, so there's a water plant, water plant, and then there's a nuclear plant. There's also the coal plant, very common in China, right? All those stuff, Singapore uses. You're saying?
Which one uses? Wow.
No, this is to trigger you to think in terms of safety. So how does a wind turbine is safer or less safer, right? Safer or less safer compared to nuclear, compared to coal, compared to water, that will give you some answers. Okay, what do you think?
No, I actually.
I mean, from a safety point of view, compared to a nuclear power plant,
Oh, it's like safer because like
yeah, because what could happen? There is no explosion happening here,
explosions
man.
could happen in like I don't know what nuclear does though.
Many other power plants can explode, except water lah. I mean, the renewable one usually don't explode one.
Does
Water don't
Singapore
explode.
nuclear babies?
That's the main reason why Singapore cannot have a nuclear power plant. Cannot.
Oh yeah, because it's so like small. So like
Near. Yeah, just
it's near
sabotage.
the
Just
mainland, near the people.
correct. One guy sabotage, one mistake happen, the whole country gone. Nonsense, right? Cannot like that one lah. Cannot like that. Even if you want nuclear power plant, I'm sorry, even if you want a cheaper power plant, you cannot use nuclear. Nuclear is quite cheap actually, but cannot, too dangerous.
We should start bombing. Very nice.
Or somebody bomb. You get the point lah. It's too dangerous for a
Wait, so
small
Singapore
country in
uses like
Singapore.
coal?
No, the cleaner alternative for coal. Singapore's power plant are actually very polluting, but they do a good job cleaning the pollution lah. They
A
basically
bio
just use gas. They just basically use
biofuel?
petrol lor. No, they just basically use petrol. They just burn
Yeah.
petrol, right? They just import petrol and burn petrol because that's the
Which countries use
easiest way.
nuclear?
A lot. France is a common one.
I wanna see.
Japan, France, Japan, Japan is still using it no matter what. Because nuclear, as in general, tends to be reliable and cheap lah. Tends to be like, yeah. Not a lot of
Oh.
country, but there is advantages for nuclear. Definite advantages, but safety is not one of them, especially for Singapore and especially compared to wind farms. Wind farms are safe to us, not safe to the birds, which is fine. At least that's the cost calculation. Something like that.
Nice.
It's not good for the birds. Let's just put it that way. It's not good for the birds, but you go.
It's safer because it doesn't like kill the lives of mankind or something.
It's safe, to advantage, it's safe because it does not explode. I'll just say it that way, man.
Seriously?
Because other power plants do explode. Well, I mean, even coal power plants explode, even coal power plants. Petrol power plants, no need to say already. It can and it will explode, but when a nuclear power plant explode from whatever sabotage, the result is a very dangerous thing. It's not the explosion which is dangerous, it's the after the explosion, the whole radiation. Right? We no longer call that environment problem, we already call that safety problem. Anyway, back to wind farm. Because you're comparing with nuclear, you can see that wind farms are relatively much safer.
Turbines do not pollute the air.
Yeah, environment what? Yeah, no pollution. Yeah, I mean that's what renewables do most of the time, right? Solar, water, and wind do not pollute the environment directly. The problem is afterwards. The problem.
Answer key, and you know how they phrase it? They said the rotating blades of wind turbines causes deaths and injuries to birds and bats.
Yeah, birds and bats, problem lah. I mean, they phrase it very nicely lah. I know they phrase it in a very nice way. You get the idea, lo. It's not good for the bird lah. I mean, you can argue that the water power plant is not good for the fish and the local ecosystem. It changes everything. That's also true. My point is the question is very fair. He's asking you to think about the advantage and the disadvantage because there's always those things one. You're just making a trade-off. As a human being, you don't have an option where everything is good one. Definitely not. There is a reason why certain country use wind and there's a certain country uses nuclear. The trade-offs are better at certain countries compared to wind, compared to nuclear, yada yada. So that is what I want to leave you with. The environmental side and the safety side definitely will produce some good answers one. Definitely. Any other question?
Wait, using wind turbines requires a large piece of land.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like solar. But that's what you said, what? You said that the space is a problem, what? No, me?
I did.
But why are you surprised? Tell me. I can explain
No,
more.
I'm just asking again, like saying my answer again.
Space-wise is kind of simple. Do you know how big the wind turbines are?
No, as big as
Imagine.
Singapore.
No, 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 not that big. But you live in a HDB, right? How many floor maximum?
16.
All right, 16 times 4, let me see, 64. Okay, so let's say your HDB building is around 70 meters, 70 meters in height. A wind turbine, if you measure the tip, the most modern one will be around 110 meter. That's quite standard. So it's higher than your HDB building. Just
That's not
imagine that
that.
for but that's one wind turbine. One wind turbine doesn't give you much power. You need a lot of wind turbine because you need a lot to catch a lot of wind to give you enough power lah. That's always the problem with renewable source. If you want a solar power plant, you need a very big area for all the solar. If you want wind power, for example, if you put all the island, the whole Singapore with wind power, it is still not enough for maybe 10% of the island's need. Not even 10%.
What? Huh?
Because wind power, no matter how big and how strong, is just not enough most of the time. You really need a lot of area for it. You really need a lot. So that's why they say height is a problem and then space is a problem because you need a lot of them, not just one. They are not very powerful, put it that way. They're just not very powerful. That's all. Because the winds are not very powerful.
Next question.
Mhm.
Yes, I put the question.
Very long, very long question, but nothing difficult lah. Let's talk about it. Okay.
Okay.
You can type. If you feel confident, you can type. Um, if you cannot define energy, it's okay for now. That's the type of memorization you do later on. The thinking process is at part B, part C, that's more important.
Hmm. Wait. What is energy again?
Depending on the definition, you can use certain form, and then again, you don't have the formula.
Energy is the ability to do work.
Not wrong, but it's fine. It's fine for a second one definition. It's really fine. It's okay. Good. Yeah, it's good. Good. It's good.
Wait, so I write energy is the ability to do work.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
which one
fine.
is like
Yeah.
a better answer?
I'll tell you one thing, lah. I'll tell you one thing. Even at the university level, it's very difficult to define energy properly, lah. Right? I'll just tell you a simple reason why, because it is true that energy can do work, and that's why we're interested in energy. That's totally correct, okay? It's just that no, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. For A level, the definition of energy as the ability to do work is totally great. Never mind. Never mind what I'm going to say. There's no point. That is a good definition, a very concept, a definition that actually helps you think about it. I'm sorry. You're correct. Let's stick with that. I'm already very happy that you mentioned that. Did you think about it yourself, or did you look at the answer key?
Um, huh?
No, is my voice not clear?
Yes.
Sorry. Hmm.
Um,
Now, is there any way for you to plug in an earphone
no,
to your
okay.
iPad?
Now I like close the door so it should be less loud.
Okay. But just asking, is there any way to plug in a headphone to an iPad? Just checking.
No, no.
No, you can't use the iPhone connector, the iPhone earphone. You cannot use all that to an iPad. No. Can you?
Nah.
This will be problematic, but later. Anyway, so let's stick with that energy, right? Definition. I asked you a few times. I cannot hear the answer. Never mind. Let's not repeat ourselves. Okay, come. Can we do B1, B2, and B3?
B1, B2, B3. Okay, state the amount of gravitational potential energy when the ball is 5 meters above the ground. There's more kinetic energy. Like, no, there is.
Wait. He says state the amount. It would be nice to kind of do a certain calculation or to quote a certain number. To quote a certain number. If cannot calculate, then a certain number. Because he says state, you don't need to calculate, but a number is what he's looking for. Amount ma? Is it possible for you to say a number?
Say a number.
Yeah.
Oh, 30 joules.
You are correct. Good. How about part two?
60 joules.
Think about it like this. The initial gravitational potential is 60.
59.
Still doesn't make sense. Why? Plug in. All right. So initially, you have 60 joule gravitational potential energy. Okay, they tell us all good. Just checking, what's the initial kinetic energy?
Huh?
Okay, this is getting frustrating, right? Either I cannot hear you or you cannot hear me. We got to settle this right now, Fidushi. Is there anything that you can do to improve this situation right now?
Wait,
Anything
let
at
me.
all? Anything. This is not working
Okay.
well when there are more than one student, right?
Okay, I just like changed it. Yeah, now I can like hear.
Okay. Right. Maintain this setting next time so that we don't frustrate each other. You know, the audio problem makes a very good discussion in the very frustrating one, right? I don't want to not enjoy my discussion with you. Okay, that's bad. That's bad. You also don't want that to happen. Now, initially, the PE is 60 joule. The kinetic energy initially is what? Just checking.
60 joules.
No, 0. But how do I know? How do I
Wait.
know that? That's
Oh
the
yeah,
question.
kinetic energy is 0. Gravity GPE is
Because
60 because all of the
60.
kinetic energy is converted to gravitational potential energy. No, wait.
Uh,
It's not even.
no. I mean, you're memorizing stuff lah. You're memorizing stuff. Come, a bit more
No,
understanding.
because it's not even moving.
Yeah. That's a much better thing. There's no speed, man. No KE lo. The core correct. Always correct one. Always great. Hey, it's not moving, man. I totally agree with you. Now, look at your answer in B part 1 and part 2 lah. So you're saying that for B part 1, this is 5 meter, around 5 meter, right? Sorry. That's 5 meter. So you say your PE is 30 joule, which I totally agree with you. Like it a lot. Then you're saying the KE is 59 joule, and I lost you at that point already. How is that 59 joule? I'm not sure whether that makes sense.
Yeah, true.
All right. Think again. The 30 joule is so great. Half the height, half the energy. So easy in terms of PE. Totally great. Think about the KE.
Um, huh? The KE is like the most right before it hits the ground. Oh, 5 meters above it.
No. Part 2.
Yeah,
Part 2.
part 3.
Yeah, what's your answer for part 2?
30 joules.
Okay, great. Again, that was the mic problem. That was so annoying, man. Okay, 30 and 30. So just before, your answer will be 59. I understand now. Now I understand why you say 59. You can just say 60. It's okay one. It's okay. It's totally okay to say 60, right? It's 59.99999. Who cares? Just say 60, you'll be correct.
I don't know what the law of conservation of energy is. So, like, yes.
Here's the good news. You already know it. It's just a matter of phrasing it. Look, total 60, correct? Total 60. Total 60. The total stays the same.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the most important concept of conservation. See, it's total the same, the total does not increase or decrease one.
Yeah.
Okay. You can say that might be enough. If you want to be more fancy, the total stays the same, but the form can change lah. So for
What do you mean form?
example, which is what you did. You already know this. For example, here, total is 60 here, but the form is 60 and 0. The form meaning, PE and KE lah, the form of energy. You can say
Okay.
the type of energy. So this one is total 60, but the form is 30-30. Here is total 60, the form is 0 and 60. So conservation means that the total does not change, but the form itself can. So it can convert between energy lah, in that sense. Very fancy way to describe something you already know. That's my point.
Yes. So what do I write? Like, I didn't write.
If you want fancy words, you can look at the answer key. If the answer key doesn't sound nice, you tell me. But before you do that, can you try something? Your English is quite good, Vidushi. Don't have to change yourself. Right.
Bruh. This is very a bit funny.
Mhm.
Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but only converted from one thing. Oh, yeah, no,
So I guess that makes sense, right? That
yeah.
makes sense lah. Right? Okay, that is their favorite phrase lah. Neither created or destroyed. I just don't want you to memorize that. I want you to understand that that simply means the total stays the same. That's the meaning, right? But they phrase it in that way as long as you understand. Okay. Right. So glad to know that your thinking part is great. Okay. How about part C and part C1 and 2? Also thinking, also thinking.
Wait one second.
Sure thing. Sure. We don't rush here. Eh? We don't rush.
How am I supposed to find the mass, energy, and how do you find mass? It's mass like energy over like gravity.
So I guess the question is, do you know the formula? Because this one must need formula. Do you know the formula of gravitational potential energy? Okay, then I'll just give you, because that's the end of discussion, you just use it, right? So the gravitation, sorry, GPE, right? GPE, there's a formula which will serve you well until forever, I suppose. MGH. Do you know what is M, what is small g, and what is H?
M is mass, G is gravity, H is height.
G is not gravity, but never mind. They tell you what's G. I'm not gonna discuss that with you right now, but they do give you G. Ta-da! And height is height. So can you calculate the mass? Can or not? Give me a number and give me a unit. I want to know your unit.
5 as the number and kilograms is the unit.
Yep. And what's the answer? Sorry.
What? What's the answer?
What's the what? Yeah, the number. Give me a number, man.
5.
I cannot hear you. Make my problem.
5.
Why is it 5? No,
Five
that's
is
the answer is not 5. 5 kilogram? No, the answer is not 5 kilogram. What are you talking about?
6.
No, the answer is not 6. What are you talking about? 8. Calculate properly.
Didn't you tell me to give you a random number and a unit?
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Wait. Sorry. Okay. Again, maybe the formula is different. So the GP is 60, right? 60 joule, right? 60. And then the mass, which will be in kg, is what we're looking for, times 10 times 10, correct? The height is 10 meter. The G is 10 they give us. Don't tell me that the mass is 6.
The mass is. I don't know what the mass is. The mass hasn't come
What
up.
are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wait. Hello. 60 equals to mass times 10 times 10. Even using your primary math, this would be very
Oh,
easy.
6. 6 kg.
6 times 10 times 10 is not 60.
Oh, 6 times. Huh? 6 times. Why 10 times 10?
The G is 10, the height is 10.
Okay.
Correct or not? Wait, this is correct or not? Okay, then the mass shouldn't be 6 lah. That's 600, not 60. Use some of your very good math, please. Don't turn off your math here.
What am I supposed to do?
Press a calculator until you can find the answer, right? That's another way lah. Come on, man.
10.
Come on, man.
There's
You can just press calculator. You just press the
0.6.
calculator, right?
0.6.
Yeah, 0.6. Wonderful. Now, how did you get that? Tell me.
60 divided by 10 times 10.
Which is a very good math. Don't turn off your math. Okay?
Bruh.
Okay, bruh. Okay, I don't want you to turn off your math. Your math is good. For part two, that's for 2 marks lah, right? For 2 marks. For part two, you also need the formula. Okay, this should be new. Please clarify first. Do you understand the formula?
Yeah, so wait, let me write it down. Formula
Mhm.
is
Oh, sorry, I write down already. I'm sorry.
what's the formula?
Half mv squared.
How? Mass.
mv mass times speed square, v squared.
What's V?
V, speed. Velocity, v. So in physics, they use v for
Half
speed, lah. Velocity and speed. Mhm.
V square.
Square, right. Now, use your math to find the v, please. Okay, treat it as a preparation for Wednesday exam.
Zero.
I want to see your working here. This is math exam. Tell me something.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do, bro. What?
Okay, again, first thing with the formula.
PE?
So the K, what's the KE? What's the KE here?
I don't know.
Assuming all the gravitational potential energy is converted to kinetic
That's
energy. Come on, your
60
physics is
joules.
good.
60 joules.
Good, 60. So you got a 60 for the KE, lah, right? You got a 60. And half is half, whatever. You got a mass from previously. What is the mass? Come on, what's the mass just now?
Wait, 0.6 kilograms.
Yeah, mass is 60 over 10, so 0.6, right? So 0.6 is here. Now you have a v squared there, right? Okay. Even though this might look weird to you, I want you to do this math properly.
Bro,
Please try. Bro, try.
math. What is
This is math. This is no longer physics. This is a math problem now. How do you get the v? Use some math. I hold your math in high regard. Come on.
Bro, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Half
Use your
times
math thinking.
times down, bro. What? Okay. I
Think.
don't have like space, so
You have space. You can do it on paper, whatever, man. Do whatever you want, right? Do whatever you want, but do something.
60. I don't know.
How did you get the 200? Sorry.
I did
It's
like
not two. No, it's not 200. It's not 200. It's 180. I'm sorry, it's not 180. It's not 180. I'm sorry. Oh, it is 200. No, it is 200. No, you're absolutely correct. I'm so sorry. It is absolutely correct. It is 200. 200 equals to v squared. It should be very easy for you to find v. If you don't know, I'll give you hints, okay? But
it should be
good.
very, bro. What?
It's an ugly number, okay? You need calculator. Your last step, Vidushi. V squared is 200. So what is V?
V is 200
An ugly
divided by.
number.
Wait.
No,
V
it's not division. It's not division. You shouldn't use
square
division
root
here. You
of
should.
200. I don't know what.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. Math wins. Math wins. Good.
But I don't know what square root of 200 is.
Just press the calculator, man.
My calculator isn't here. Nonsense. Oh.
So surprise, you need calculator in physics. Surprise. All right, give me a number and then check the answer key.
14.8.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
14.5.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Good. Unit?
25. No,
Yeah,
5
unit. I know. Unit.
km per hour. No,
No, meter per second. Meter per second. Yeah, you should have learned the SI, ma. The SI is meter per second.
The answer is just like 14 point something something. 14 point what, bro?
Because they do 2SF lah. For some strange reason, in physics, the standard is 2SF.
They wrote half meters v squared. No, it's 14.1 meters square. Meter second.
Yeah, sounds more correct. Yeah, something like that lah. I mean, just press the calculator lah. If you find this math to be a bit challenging, well, this is the hardest math they could give you in physics lah. So it's not that bad lah, right? But you need a certain level of math though, which is what we're doing right now. Glad that I covered this with you. Glad. Okay, that's another 2 marks. So I guess that's why it's worth 2 marks lah, I guess, yeah? Last one?
Last one. Explain why each subsequent. Oh, I know this. Some of the kinetic energy, no, some of the gravitational potential energy is converted to kinetic energy. Thus, there is not enough kinetic energies to be converted into gravitational potential energy.
And you will be totally wrong. You'll be totally wrong.
What?
Yeah, I'm serious. So no. Conceptually, let's discuss this, okay? Conceptually.
But I learned that in primary school.
And you will be wrong. And my job, however, is to try to explain why you're wrong. I shouldn't just say that you're wrong. I shouldn't just say that the answer key will be with me. That's not what I'm saying. Let me try to explain, okay? That's your benefit. We have time to talk about all these things, okay? We are so far ahead. Now, 60 joule of kinetic energy here. Now, first of all, you say that some of the PE changed to KE. No, it's all. All did change what? All did change to KE. 60 lah. All PE changed to KE. So far, so good. Correct? There is no loss. Clear? There is no loss. So far, so good?
Yes.
I mean, is a mic? Okay, so no loss, right? So
no, wait, let me try. Some of the kinetic energy is converted to heat and sound energy. Thus, there's not enough kinetic energy to be converted to gravitational potential energy.
Thank you. When did that happen? Where did it happen?
I thought again, and then I was like, oh shit, I screwed up.
I know. Where did that happen? Where did the conversion to sound and whatever lah? Where did it happen?
It bounces.
Correct. During the bounce. There is a loss here. Loss during bounce. Yep. That would be a good one. That is what you're supposed to learn in primary school. Right? Primary school science, very good. I need to understand. This is a very This is worth it. This is a worth it exam question. Right? Hopefully, you'll be comfortable with this kind of question. Okay, we only cover one long question. I think it's definitely worth it, right? Definitely. You're definitely learning a lot of new things. I guess one more. Okay, we still have 10 minutes.
Second, you're right. This is the need go get more paper because I ran out of paper.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay, this is the moment question. Also,
Wait, can I get like a bit more paper? I just need paper.
sure thing, sure thing.
Okay, I'm done. I'm back.
Sorry, before because it's 5 minutes. This is a new time slot, right? Is this a good time slot? Do we make this permanent? Sorry to confirm, I cannot hear you. Cannot hear you. Your mic is cutting you off. Your mic was cutting you off just now very, very badly.
Oh, oops.
Right. Yeah, the mic does weird things with your voice. It's on and off. Is it okay or not okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, cool. And temporarily it's 5:30 to 6:30 because if you go 6 to 7, it'll be more crowded lah. So if even if there are changes, it's just half an hour here and there. Would that be okay?
These are language models which are available.
Huh?
Would that okay?
Wait, sorry. Mom came in. Can you say what you were saying again?
Yeah, 5:30 to 6:30 temporarily
Yeah, it's
because
okay.
if you,
It's okay.
all right. So in the future, maybe change to 6 to 7, but that's just a short shift lah, if that's okay. Maybe lah. Okay. But next week, 5:30 to 6:30 first. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Right. I'll fix that. Feel free to try this question. Also a long one. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. It's a nice question.
Wait, so like, can you help me with 5A? I don't know what a
No
principal.
problem. Oh no, no, never mind. Never mind. The principal of moments, right? Wait, they're asking for the principle of moments. Very interesting. Huh. How interesting. Because I thought they asked you to define moments. I'm a bit surprised. Okay, so in equilibrium, sorry, fancy words, yeah, fancy. I gotta use some fancy words a little bit. In equilibrium, whatever that means, the clockwise moment is equal to the counterclockwise moment. Or if you use a nicer word, the clockwise moment is balanced by, I'm sorry, the total clockwise moment is balanced by the total counterclockwise moment
Okay, I don't
in
get it.
equilibrium. Totally not, but let's not get that. Let's talk about B1, 2, 3, 4, because that is what we need to use. So we get that understanding, and then the definition will just make sense. Okay? Okay, we'll try that. I mean, we have 1 minute left, so let's try this. Can you actually do B1? If cannot, I'll show you.
B1.
Yeah.
What is this? 6?
All right, so let me
I don't know what
draw.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, let me draw something. Let me draw something because this is definitely new. Let's just slowly learn it. Okay, no problem. Okay. Whenever you see moment, you're gonna imagine things rotating. Okay, rotating. That's all. Rotating. Yeah. Now, this bar can rotate. This bar is not drawn very nicely. So this bar is balanced on a very thin edge. Okay, it's balanced here. Would that make sense? Can you imagine that? For whatever reason, a person is balancing a bar on this triangle thingy. Okay? So far, so good?
Yeah.
So this bar or beam, whatever, can actually drop like that or can actually drop like that, but it does not drop. Therefore, it is balanced. So it seems like this bar is being balanced. The question, no, the question will say so. So okay, so it's not dropping in this fashion, which is counterclockwise. It's also not dropping in that fashion, which is clockwise. Would that make any sense?
I'm super confused.
No problem. Let me ask you to imagine something, and then we have to end anyway. Okay. Imagine that this bar does not have this force. This force does not exist. There's no 2 meter and everything, right? So when this force doesn't exist, don't you think that the bar will rotate? Right? It will either rotate like that, or it will rotate like that. Like there's only 2 possibility in the rotation. Am I
But
okay?
there. Oh yeah. Yes.
Right? If that makes sense, okay. Now that's making sense. So tell me, which direction will this bar rotate if I cancel this F? Which direction you think? You're supposed to think or imagine this. There is no other way, by the way. There's no other way.
Wait, let me think 1 second.
Yes, please. It's a thinking matter. Okay. You call this the left, but I shall not call this left. I shall call this counterclockwise, which is to say anti-clockwise. Right? That makes sense? Anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. Make sense? That's the anti-clockwise rotation. No, moment simply means rotation. For your purpose right now, is enough. So look at B1. B1 is calculate. Give me a number, right? Give me a number. You need a formula. Doesn't matter. First thing first, you need to know that, there is an anti-clockwise rotation caused by this guy. Definitely this guy will cause counterclockwise or anti-clockwise rotation. Make sense?
Yeah.
Which is to say, the other guy, well, if you think about it, it does not do that. The other guy does clockwise rotation or clockwise movement. Does that make sense?
Content or whatever, bro.
The other guy, like this F, does the other effect, the other rotation.
That's
Does that make any sense whatsoever?
I guess.
So later on in the question, these two rotation will balance each other. For example, in B2, calculate the force F needed to keep the rod balanced. So you have these two anti-clockwise and clockwise balancing each other, balancing the rod so the rod doesn't end up, falling. That's the general story of a rotational question. Make sense?
Oh, okay.
Would that make some sense? Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
New thing lah, yeah. So next time we meet, time is out. Next time we meet, on the video, I'll just use a ruler and then I'll show you stuff. And then we'll calculate this question, right? Okay. I promise you, it will be quite easy to understand, not memorize. Easy to understand. Okay.
Yes.
Good job, Fiduci, we're discussing two very thorough questions. Hopefully we can finish this one next time. Okay, tell me what happened. Okay, after exam, I'm curious. Okay, this is your first exam after PSLE. I'm really very curious. Okay,
Okay.
all the best, Fiduci, and I'll see you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm. Hello, Ada. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Ada. Um, I contacted your mom. I believe you just wake up. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Do you like to wash your hand, wash your face first? Yeah, freshen up a bit.
No need.
All right. Okay. Then, is there any extra update? Anything Eddie you want to tell me? Any changes from yesterday?
Um, my teacher returns the Emacs. Okay, not returned. My teacher showed us the spreadsheet for Emacs and Amacs. So I got A1 for both Macs.
Which sounds very good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, but that means you don't have the working and the correction everything. But like,
No.
remember to take a photo of your working for all EMath, AMath, physics, and chem when you have it. Okay. Okay. We can work out the improvements there. Having said that, well, are you happy with your result?
Yeah.
Mm, I would imagine that. If you're happy, I'm happy too. Okay. Good. Uh, If there is nothing else, then we should continue what we are doing yesterday, lah, right? Yesterday, we were talking about the section B of chemistry paper. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was trying to get you used to that part because that part is critical for achieving A1. You were telling me that at least for chemistry, you definitely want an A1. I think it's a good goal, lah. Do you still remember the mark goals I set for you if you want A1?
Yeah.
For paper 2, A and B, do you remember how many marks roughly for paper 2A and 2B?
Yeah. 42 and 22.
Right, 42 out of 50 and 22 out of 30. Yesterday, I was giving you, going through with you so that you know the feeling of those 30 marks, lah. You don't have to be perfect. 22 marks is minimum, very achievable. If you get more marks, then maybe you can get less mark from paper A, lah. Get more marks on both, definitely a good idea, right? Do you remember the time limit for part 2B?
Yeah.
How much is that?
45 minutes.
Correct, 45 minutes. Now, any question on what happened yesterday first before we continue? Any question? Aiden, is that okay? Is everything okay?
No question.
All right, okay. Because your Zoom seems flickering. Okay. Then if there is nothing that you want to ask, nothing from school, Aiden, just to confirm.
Nothing.
Okay, so today we'll do physics paper because I promised them that they will look and feel similar. The way to handle them, therefore, should also be similar. That is what I promise. Let's see whether that's true or not. Yeah, you are going to get a random physics paper. Go to section B. Let's read it together. Share your screen. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you sharing your screen with me? Sorry.
Yeah.
I can. There you go. Okay, paper 2, 1 hour 45, so exactly the same as chemistry. Let's go immediately to the end. Let's see whether it is also choosing between two options lah. Okay, that's 9, right? This question 9. That's question 11. So 9, 10, 11. 11 is either, right? 11, that's 10, that's 10. 11, 11 either or lah, right?
Mm.
There you go. Okay. Now, the first either is a topic that you have not covered before. That will be the last part of electricity. This is their favorite topic. They really like this topic. It'll come out not necessarily in section B, but they really like this topic. Maybe partly because it is very easy to make a long question out of this particular topic, the motor and the generator. Right? Feel free to just take a look. Of course, you might not be able to understand everything. Just take a look, okay? Is this the topic that you should be answering? If you can, I believe so. I believe so. You should prepare very well for this topic. That's what we should be doing after we review this paper, maybe next week. Hopefully we can do that. Okay, now if you're curious, I can try to explain to you briefly here and there. You can just ask, right? That's up to you though.
Okay.
Okay, as in you gotta say whether you want or just skip for the next one lah.
I'll skip it because I'll wait until like it's covered first.
Good, good, good. All right, then feel free to scroll to the next one. I believe you can do the next one. So currently you have no option lah. This is what you need to do, right? For now lah. Kindly read and let's try to do this. Now, Aiden, tell me if you have something to clarify or you need some hint.
Part A I know, part B I know.
So, oh, you cannot draw here, is it? Just tell me what is the weight?
8,600.
Newton. All right. Okay. You need the unit lah. And then tell me the force.
Gravitational force, air resistance, as well as I don't know
Direction.
but air resistance will be going down.
Agreed. And then
Gravitational
weight also down. So is there anything upward or left or right?
up thrust going
Yeah.
upwards.
Upwards. In terms of sizes or the length of the length of the line, because the length of the line determines the size. Who is the longest, you think?
Up thrust.
I agree with you so far. Okay, good. Good. Give me an annotation provision, please.
I think you're the host, so
No, the one that is sharing the screen determines the annotation. Okay, good. Right.
I don't know what to press. So
You're using Windows, right? Am I correct?
yeah.
Yeah, you should be. Uh, in the Zoom menu, if you click some options, there will be things like not on the PDF menu, not on the browser menu, on the Zoom menu itself. Either up or down, you have an option to enable annotation. So not on the PDF itself, right?
I think I enabled it already.
Okay, let me see. I can now annotate. Wonderful. Okay, so now we can annotate if we need to. That's okay. All right, now, how about part C? Part C is now the main thing. Part A and B has been helping you a lot for part C. Okay, let me do that.
Yeah, I forgot about part C already. I forgot about
Okay. This is like maybe the first or second topic in Sec 3. A most important topic, the concept here will determine all the other topics. So let's discuss this one. I'll just draw the weight, okay? I'll use weight, okay? The weight is like that. Here's the weight, okay? And then you say that there will be another air resistor, so just say that as FA, okay? All right. And then an upthrust, I'll just draw. I don't know whether it's the same length or longer. I don't know, but for now, I don't care. As long as I don't draw shorter than the total upthrust, I'll just say U, something like that. So far, so good, yeah?
yeah.
Okay, now the helicopter is accelerating. So the concept is very simple. Okay, you think the forces are balanced or not? If my question doesn't make sense, tell me.
I think it's balanced.
And the answer is no, because they tell us. So right now, because I read the question, I'm very sure that upthrust is longer than W plus FA. How do I know that? It's very simple. It's by this thing they tell us, accelerating. So acceleration means, again, sigma F equals to ma, right? Am I correct? Is this
Yeah.
confusing or not? Now, when sigma F is equals to ma and A is something, this is 4, that means this is not equal to 0. The sigma F is not 0. If it's not 0, then up is not equal to down. One of them must be longer for the acceleration to happen. That is the definition of not balance. Okay, again, balance is as simple as left equals to right, up equals to down. That's balance. Clockwise equal to counterclockwise. That is balance. When it is balanced, there is no acceleration. When there is acceleration, it is definitely not balanced, clearly. Am I making any sense, Aiden?
Yeah.
Okay, now follow me. That thinking is not a bonus thing. What I described to you is supposed to be how we think. Guaranteed it will help you every time one. Guaranteed. No question will be too hard if you think that way. Now, Again, the main concept is not that I have to write 860 times 4. That's easy. The main concept is that upthrust will be bigger than weight plus air resistance. That's the concept. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what is the upthrust? Oh, okay, fine. They are asking it. So upthrust. Now, why would I write upthrust minus, so to speak, weight plus FA? Why would I write that equals to 860 times 4?
Upthrust.
Does that make any sense? Mhm.
Oh, it makes sense because you're calculating the difference. Like, okay, maybe I say in the length of the arrow. It's a difference in the length of the.
Correct. The difference. Because there must be a difference. Again, how do I know? Acceleration. By the way, the difference must be 860 times 4. Must be. Clear?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they already asked us to find weight, which is nice. We just use 8,600. And then they give us air resistance, which I just add 400 lah. Would that be okay? So the
Yeah.
upthrust must be more than 9,000, which is 9,000 plus 860 times 4. That will be your 2 marks. That is the thinking. That is also the working. Would that be okay?
Yeah, but I don't know, like in the exam, I couldn't think of the correct way to think. But for now, yeah.
Aiden, this is the first time I teach you this. I do notice that most teachers do not emphasize it that way. You're going to get used to it and you're going to practice a lot with me. Your physics is the worst, man, correct?
Yeah.
So you are right to say that right now, if you have exam, you cannot do it lah. Of course lah, you're not used to the thinking. In fact, even if you understand my thinking, you don't adopt it directly one. You have to do your own tests and you have to do your own try and you just have to try it yourself one. That is just Aiden being Aiden. Am I correct?
Yeah.
The good news is, Aiden, we have time to do all this. I have time to teach you. You can understand what I'm saying quite fast, but you need more time to try it out yourself, which is again why I'm preparing you to practice exam paper already. Plus, I'm telling you that this topic cannot be avoided one. This topic must be mastered. It is very advantageous to master this topic. The thinking, I'll just keep saying to you, you keep doing it until one day you get it. For you, it won't be very long, maybe 2 or 3 months. Okay?
Okay.
Again, obviously, you're not good for exam right now. Yeah, it's okay, we have time. Okay. Now, if you're happy, you check the answer key, erase the annotation. After you erase the annotation, you can move on to the next page. Okay.
Um,
Are you ready? Sorry, if you're not ready, no need. But if you're ready, erase the annotation and then move to the next page.
and I'm trying to understand the thing a bit.
Please, go ahead, go ahead. Take your time, take your time. Very important.
Okay.
Feel free to delete the annotation because you should be the one doing it. Can you do that in the annotation menu, right? You can do a clear all, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay. Then you feel happy, like you can also undo that. Okay. So yada yada, there's a reading, and it turns out that this is something different from the helicopter already. They just say a parachutist jumps out. A parachutist is a very common thing lah in physics O level because guess what? They want to talk about air resistance. They want to talk about terminal velocity. They always find a chance to talk about that one. That's just their favorite thing lah. Okay. So very weirdly, they give you a table to describe the motion, la 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 la. They usually give you a graph. This one is a description. Tell me if there's anything that you don't understand from this page first. Read it slowly, please. You don't read it fast.
Okay. Yeah, I think I understand it.
Okay, so far so good, yeah. Okay, then let's see what they want. Okay. Well, deceleration, okay, sure. Do you think you can do that?
Deceleration. Forgot like the formula for acceleration.
All right. Now hear me out. You don't need any formula. You need logic. Okay. Now, so that you understand the whole story, acceleration has two angles. The first angle is explored in the helicopter just now. Because they tell us there's an acceleration, the force must be imbalanced, one bigger than the other. That is the very important angle of acceleration. Understand?
Yeah.
Here is the other angle, also quite simple. Of course, deceleration is just acceleration, ma. It's just, downward, whatever. Acceleration which reduces the velocity. That's a deceleration, no? Simple, right? It's still acceleration. Okay?
Yeah.
So this deceleration means the velocity change. That's not too difficult. Acceleration mean the forces are not balanced. Acceleration also mean the velocity is changing, whether increasing or decreasing. So far, so good. I'm not saying anything new.
Yeah.
In
Hmm.
you're saying, sorry.
I think it's like 6.0 minus 55 over
Yeah, that's the difference.
5.0
Yep,
equals to
and
something.
correct. And you get a negative number. Now formalities, okay? Formalities, because the word is already deceleration, you don't put negative. You
Yeah.
put the positive number. But if the word is acceleration, you put in the negative value. Understand? Acceleration negative is deceleration. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
Just for formalities. And that's your 1 mark lah. Tell me the two angles of acceleration that you need to understand.
One was in just now that question where the forces are unequal.
All right, then
Then this one,
that the velocity is
the
changing.
velocity is different.
No, not different, changing lah. Now, let me ask you something. Is it like at one scenario, only if there's an acceleration, is either only the force is imbalanced or the velocity is changing? Is it either or is it always both?
Forces changing.
When there is acceleration,
I
whatever
think
that
it's
is.
both because like when you said that the forces are imbalanced, it is imbalanced
Mhm.
because your velocity is changing.
Cannot say that, but you're right that there's both. It's just that the question will choose to explore either this angle or that angle. But you are right, it is always happening both. But in this particular parachutist, the question doesn't seem to be interested in the force imbalance yet. The force, the angle that he's exploring is the change of velocity. On the helicopter side, the question doesn't seem to be interested in the velocity change, even though it is happening. The question is interested in the force imbalance. That is just the angle the question choose. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the next part. What does the next part ask? This is flipping between paper, correct? You are gonna get used to flipping between papers because the question is very long. My goodness, he talks about force now. No surprises, right? No surprises. Oh, turns out that he is interested in forces. Okay, very standard question, very expected question. Let us try. Can you answer 1, 2, or 3?
I forgot already, but I think I
Okay,
remembered it, but I forgot.
try something. If you want to try something, try now before I explain to you. If not, it's okay.
I know why, but I don't know the exact phrasing for it.
Sure. Say what you think instead of fancy words. Don't, it's okay. No, you don't use fancy words. It's okay. Tell me your understanding.
When the air resistance is the same as the weight of the parachute, then the resultant force will be zero, so there's no acceleration, so it's a terminal velocity.
That is a wonderful understanding. Done. 1. That's a force balance. That is the acceleration 0. That is the velocity not changing, terminal velocity. You quote all the correct concept because I think you understand. Okay? We don't care about the English right now. We just care about the concept. Now, please try part 2.
When parachute open, then the air resistance will increase. When the air resistance increase, then the force will be imbalanced. When the force is imbalanced and the air resistance
It's bigger than
is bigger than the guy's weight, then
yeah,
the resultant force is zero.
acceleration. There will be a resultant force and therefore a resultant acceleration or deceleration in this case lah.
Yeah.
The reason why I from you to quote weight because he said in terms of forces acting. He wants you to mention weight, and he wants you to mention that the air resistance is bigger than the weight. He wants you to mention all that. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, concept is correct. Now, how about part 3? Very fancy question for 1 mark only. The hardest part. The hardest part. For 1 mark, it's not worth it.
Oh,
Do you think you can make an opinion? You understand, right? There's always the last 1 mark that is actually difficult, but it's only 1 mark lah. It's not worth it in terms of the marks lah.
yeah.
You should only pursue it. You're saying?
My school does a lot of these kind of things.
Correct. Which that means that in exam, especially when you have time problem, there is time problem in paper 2 in chemistry and physics. You must understand. It's not your problem. It is a time problem for everybody who's aiming for A1. Clear, yeah? Even if I teach you the strategy only minimizes the time problem. There is always time problem. Same thing with AMAT. You should definitely skip this question and come back later if you have time in exam. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not worth the 1 mark. But this is not exam lah. Would you try please, if you can?
In real life, I mean, I can picture it in real life.
So go ahead.
Maybe it's the difference between the air resistance and the resultant force is smaller at the second terminal velocity because the parachute opened.
Okay. So even though there's a second terminal velocity, the reality goes like this. In both terminal velocity, weight will be equal to air resistance. So surprisingly, if you try to analyze that way, the first one, I just wrote the first one here. The first one, the velocity is very high, right? Velocity is higher, right? VH is very high. And the force balance is still weight equal to air resistance. And the weight never changes, correct? The weight equals to F. Then that's the first one. The second one is a low terminal velocity. Let's call that VL. But surprisingly, that's also weight equals to air resistance. which if the weight is the same, therefore the air resistance should also be the same. The force analysis does not reveal the reason lah, at least not directly. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So if you try this angle, it's very difficult to answer properly. And again, to nobody's surprise, right? This is the not worded 1 mark question, right? You only do this if you have time to think about it and then have time to construct the sentence. Let me say this very carefully. The last 1 mark always requires some sort of fresh thinking on the spot. It is not something you can prepare. That is the whole point of that 1 mark. Whereas the 4 marks before is something that you can prepare most definitely lah. Clear, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that 1 mark, you don't be surprised. What is this 1 mark nonsense? No. That's the whole point. They're trying to differentiate those who can think something fresh and difficult on spot and those who cannot. Just to be clear, that is not the difference between A1 and A2. That's the difference between high A1 and low A1. So you don't fall to the trap if you want to aim for A1. Clear or not?
Yeah.
One more time, I guarantee you that this last 1 mark is not the difference between A1 and A2. It's not. It's not. It is high A1 and low A1. Now, I have to clear this concept first to explain to you, okay, this is not the way to reach the answer. Another way would be to simply rely on part 2. Because I feel that part 1 and part 2 kind of prepares you for part 3. They are giving you hints even though it's hard. So they are fair, right? So one more time, this is the first one, right? This is the first one. So during the transition to the second one, something happened, right? The FA is bigger than the weight, correct? In terms of force acting, the second terminal velocity will be smaller because of the deceleration, because that's what you say in part 2. Again, why decelerate? Because the FA will stay bigger than weight, but as you decelerate, your velocity reduces and therefore your FA reduces, right? Until you reach the FA equals to W again. When that happens, you have been decelerating for quite some time. Therefore, the second terminal velocity is smaller than the first terminal velocity. That is a very long answer, isn't it, for 1 mark?
Yeah.
Plus, you have to avoid all the traps. Now, just to be clear first, do you understand my answer?
I roughly understand.
Do you have to think too much about it? Up to you if you want to. It is good practice, but you think about it for the sake of learning, not for the sake of the marks. The marks shouldn't be your motivation. It's a very bad motivator in terms of marks. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, we don't talk too much yet because we only have 10 minutes left. Now, is this the end of question 11?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, good. So I'm going to clear this first, right? So let's now focus on the detail first. I'm asking you to focus on how does the paper look like? Is my promise currently quite true that, chemistry paper 2 feels similar to physics paper 2? So far lah.
Yeah, it feels relatively similar, like the way they structure it.
Now, therefore, the approach should be similar. You should now, there's a B13. No, you go back to the previous paper first, right? You go back to the previous paper first. Because by right, after you do the last question, the choice one, you go where? You go where?
Go back, according to you, is B9.
Correct. The 2 questions before, where you expect what? What do you expect?
Well, I expect it to be, you said 1 question easy.
1 question easy, 1 question hard. You don't know which one, but you expect a long-winded reading question. Okay. Is this long-winded? I guess the way they make it long-winded in physics is to give you a very weird-looking or new picture, which you have to understand, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to B9 or you go to question 9. That's always how we do it for now. And you expect that you will be reading and understanding this picture. In physics, there is a lot of picture, more than graphs, and it is up to you whether you can understand or not. This is my first time seeing whether you can understand a new picture. Please tell me, what do you think about the picture? Take your time.
Okay.
Okay. This is the reading part. Never underestimate the picture. Let me confirm that you are still figuring out the picture.
Yeah, I feel like it's convection current.
Mm,
It
You're
looks
saying that there's a convection that is happening here. I can understand where you're coming from. Now, are you saying that you sufficiently understand this picture, how it works?
not really.
That is part of the reading skill, especially in physics. They give you a schematic, this is called a schematic, like, the internal picture of something, and you're supposed to figure out how does this thing work. When you say convection, I don't know whether you actually understand it or you are just trying your luck. Lah. Which one is it?
I understand it in a sense when like the cold
Mm-hmm.
water go down. When the cold
Mm-hmm.
water goes down already, then the plastic pipe
Mm-hmm.
it up. That's why it's from the bottom, because it's cold water denser at the bottom.
In this case, you probably don't suck it. There's nothing that sucks it in the tap, but the push of the water flowing in might do the trick. Might.
There's a pressure on it.
Okay. We assume that the water flowing does have a pressure and the tap will help you kind of just open that flow lah. Now, why is it that the convection, that means this is a real thing, right? This is not something which is wrong, right? How come the refrigeration is on top leh? Is that a good idea, a bad idea? The cold water dropping, is that a good thing, a bad thing? I don't know.
It's a good thing because like you don't put your aircon on the floor.
Okay, I understood that. Then if you say that, then you understand already. Okay, good. Then I'm not sure whether you understand the picture fully, but you seem to understand what's going on. That's what I feel. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Now, read the question 9 throughout. I want you to get a feel before you try to answer. Is it that difficult? Is it very hard? Is it actually doable? Just read through. The last part is also very predictable. The last part is always like that. Okay. Now, I haven't taught you this topic also. This is obviously the earlier Sec 3 topics, right?
Yeah, I forgot.
Conduction, convection, and then the Q lah. QMC delta T lah, QML lah, those kind of things. Okay. So either you forget or you're not strong enough. But this is question 9, no? Right? We don't have much time. We should discuss this maybe next week. I want you to read through question 10 first.
Okay.
I want you to get a feel of section B. Right.
This topic I should know better, like because they
Correct. Currently, what you're doing, you may even try to do it. Make you happy, ma. Critical angle lah, this lah, that. Hey, you just did this test. Okay. Maybe you try. Seems quite easy lah. Seems quite easy.
yeah.
At least at the start. Okay. Okay? Maybe you do something about it. Maybe you do some calculation, yada, yada, yada. The questions are not a surprise at all. How good is your lens? Oh, how good is your lens?
My lens
Hmm.
I would say it's
How
pretty
good is
good.
Then, can you find the focus for me here? If you want to draw some line, that would be nice. Just roughly draw some lines and then you tell me, hey, where's the focus? Because obviously they don't tell you where the focus is, right?
Okay.
Tell me where's the focus by drawing certain line.
My line's a bit messy.
Your line from the object to the image. Okay, now how is this supposed to help you find the focus? It's a correct line though. I like your line very much. I like it, but how is that supposed to help you find the focus? Because that line doesn't pass through focus. That line passes through the center of the lens, right? So you draw another line, which also looks great. Is this new line supposed to help you find the focus?
Yeah.
Okay, and I would agree with you. I would agree with you. I like this focus. Now tell me the last line. Tell me this line. Now tell me about this line. This line, okay? Tell me about that line. Is that line supposed to pass through focus?
No,
Very good. Do you know why? Very, very good.
because it's here.
Because you know from the better line. That means the red line, you should not assume that it's a helpful line. It is actually not a helpful line, correct?
Yeah.
Good, 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 good. I like it. I'm betting right now. I've never seen this paper, by the way. You know, right? I don't give you questions on things that I've read the answer key one. Okay. This is to keep it pure. I teach you from principle, not from answer key. Make sense? That you read the answer key, I don't read the answer key. It is not because I'm lazy, but I'm avoiding teaching you because I already know the answer. All I know is the principle. You learn principle from me, not answers from me. Clear, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's why I can say something like this. I'm betting on the other question, on the bottom side of the question, they will ask you to find where focus is. I am betting on that. Let's see where they correct. Just scroll down. They cannot resist the temptation to find the focus. There you go. Which you're doing it by drawing and which you're doing it fine. They cannot resist that one. Obviously, they're setting up for that. Why am I saying this to you? Because then if you understand this topic, which you understand quite well, okay, you're quite good, that means you can almost predict what they will ask from what they give you. It's just like that. Okay.
Mhm.
So anyway, I hope you like this question. I think this is done, right?
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Okay, good, good. So this is to give you a sense that remember, out of these three long questions, at least one will feel manageable one. That is how they do things lah. That is how they do things, right? But you gotta master the doing of these three long questions. Okay, time is up, but I'll say one more thing. I'll say one more thing to you. You notice that the last question was the force, acceleration, terminal velocity thing, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am betting if this happens in part B, it will not happen in part A. Reverse. If it does not happen in part B, it will definitely happen in part A. Like part B is like a longer version of part A. They usually just take a topic and upgrade it to make it longer or something like that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Same thing with the Q question, the heat question. The heat question is in question 9. You cannot avoid it. But good news or bad news, I don't know. You will not encounter it anymore in section A. If it doesn't exist in section B, you will definitely encounter it in section A in a shorter form. Again, I hope that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So just check out section A together with me. Just have a browse and then we'll end for today. Okay. They do have this graph, but this graph is not the terminal velocity one. They really like this graph. This graph is expected, right? This is just the Emath acceleration velocity graph, correct enough? Just fully expected. Okay, so expect this to happen, right? And then what's next? And don't have to do it, just browse through. I'm asking you to browse through, don't do it for now. Okay, and then question 2, moment lah. I mean, what else, right?
Yeah.
Isn't this the moment topic? Again, totally expected lah. Okay, you should try to do this if you want to, but let's move on first. Just move on. What is this? Energy lah. What else could it be, right? Roller coaster all the way, right? I mean, what else can it be? Energy, energy loss, all right? Maybe friction, maybe work. Correct or not?
Uh-huh.
Now, have you reached the level where you might not be able to do it, but when you see a question, yeah, you already know the topic one. Must be this guy lah. Have you reached that level at least?
I think so, because when I saw the word efficiency, I knew it's like energy efficient.
Think the energy, this thing, that thing, maybe energy loss already. That is already a good thing. I tell you why. Because your brain is now thinking about the right things. If you don't know what the topic is, your brain is haywire, don't know what to think. That's a good thing. Okay, yeah, just browse through. Let's see question 4. Energy changes, yada yada, work done. Okay. Hey, pressure, right? Hey, expected lah, right? This
Yeah.
guy, right? Hey, expected, man. Let's go through. Okay, yeah. Pressure lah, this lah, that lah. Okay. What is this? Oh, waves, sound, or whatever. Okay, cool. Because just now was light. Now this is sound. Okay, you know, they like light, they like sound. Okay, do echo and all that stuff. Okay, they don't echo light, they echo sound. Okay, sure. Hey, electricity, electric circuit, right? Which
Yeah.
is what you're going to learn very soon after static, right? This is definitely a good source of mark. Let's learn that. Okay, let's learn that next time. Question 6. Okay, how about question 7? Oh, this is the practical electricity, the housing electricity. Very important, not very difficult. So after your circuit, you have your housing electricity, and then you have a motor lah. Okay, you have 3 questions at least from the new topic you're going to cover. So tell me, make a guess. What is question 8? Don't stop, don't see. Never mind, you see it already. Never mind, you see it already. Never mind, you just check question 8. Okay. What is this current carrying wire? What is this? Is this a new topic? Is this an old topic? What is this? New or old?
I don't know what that is.
Correct. So that means this is new. This is upcoming. How many questions in paper 2 is going to be new for you? All the electricity one. The circuit is 1. The housing electricity is 1. The motor at part B is 1. And then this one also is 1. There's 4 questions. 4 questions in section paper 2, which is going to be a new topic. Again, that means this new topic is going to be a major thing in paper. This is discounting static electricity. Do you see any static electricity in this paper?
No, but this is not my school's paper. My school's paper always dumps that inside.
Correct. They like it 1. Now, it doesn't mean that there'll be 5 questions, but there'll be 4 questions. So maybe they'll replace one with static electricity in another school. But my point is, the topic after this is a major topic. It's a major topic, and we're going to master that. Okay? That means we have to strike a balance with the older topic. I think we have to prioritize the newer topic first, because you cannot just play catch up all the time. This is to show you that they take it seriously, or rather they like the topic a lot. For this paper, since there's no static electricity in paper 2, then you will expect it in paper 1 MCQ later lah. Something like that.
Yeah,
Okay. This is paper 2 of physics. Any surprises?
not really. It's not like my school's one that chose the funny one. So,
Sure. Now, we must end. Okay. Sorry, Keston and Kirby. Yeah. So yeah. I overshoot. Okay. So Aiden, I don't assign you homework first lah. You rest first. Okay. Enjoy after exam lah. Okay. Okay. We'll do it next time. Okay. Right. See you, Aiden. Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Sorry, Keston and Kirby. Yeah. Overshoot. Right. Okay. Um. Kirby first, very quickly. Kirby, are we still doing any exam preparation this week?
Yeah, I've left
What would that be?
math.
Math. E-math, you mean? E-math.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what to ask today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then quickly ask me lah. Right. Now, Keston, any updates so far?
No,
All right. Tell me what's going on in school then.
just preparing for test.
What would the test be on?
I think I go check. I don't know.
Yes. Mhm.
Rate of reaction, periodic trends, group
Okay.
properties,
Mhm.
ammonia, and
Mhm.
redox.
Redox. All right. Are you worried or you want to clarify any particular topics?
No,
Mhm. Do you want to practice those topics today?
okay.
Then we just go on paper lah. Exam level, right? Those topics are definitely popular in the exam papers. So we're gonna totally forget about electrolysis and OChem for now. Just gonna do those questions. You put them in Jamboard, we'll answer them together. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so Kirby and Keston, exam preparation today. Let's do it. Kirby, can you hear me? Kirby, good. Yeah. Hey, Kirby, I'm seeing some question. Happy to answer, but you gotta show me the picture. And why are you asking a physics question then? Why is this not a math question? Sorry.
What's my physics test tomorrow?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So, Keston, okay, just to clarify, you can ask any subject you want, right? Okay, good. So, but can you, the question doesn't even have a drawing, is
Yeah,
what you're
don't
saying.
have. It's just
Oh, no
explanation.
problem. No problem. Now, wait, do you understand the concept first? Do you want the English sentences or do you want the understanding here?
Just English sentence.
Oh, okay. Then can I check with you the concept first? Like what's your understanding? Don't use fancy word like explain to me or draw
It's like
something.
you draw the ray diagram.
True. Okay, I'll just give you a person, okay? So again, show, yeah. When they say show in physics, do you have two major advantages if you either draw, even though the question don't draw. In fact, if the question don't have any drawing, you should draw. Most likely, they will make your explanation very good. The one thing, that's the first advantage, you exploit drawing or explain using formula. For this particular topic, formula reflection is nothing fancy, so we rely on drawing. You're right, lah, ray diagram. One more time, are you clear or not, Keston? In an explanation question, drawing or formula are totally acceptable in physics.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So now I'll draw something for you first, right? I'll draw something for you. I'll draw a person, right? So let's just say that the wall is here. So this is the head, right? This is the head. This is the leg, right? This is the foot, whatever. Now, I'm going to put the eye as a special point. Do you know why? you must pay attention to where the eye is.
That's where the light reflected to.
You must enter the eye. Good. So the ray from the head must enter the eye. Correct?
Yeah,
The ray from the foot must also enter the eye. Correct?
yes.
Now you need to draw the position of the mirror. You can do it now. You can do it after the ray diagram. I am testing you whether you know which one must you do first. Do you do the ray diagram first, or do you do the mirror first? But use a
Where
different color,
where
please.
does the light come from?
I just told you already. Uh-oh. So the light must enter the eye. From where? From what you are trying to look at. What is the observer trying to look at?
The himself.
Himself, right? Himself. But you must define himself as the head and the foot because full image. Make sense or not?
Yeah.
That's why I pay special attention to head and foot. You should also.
Sure.
Come from the head, go to the eye. Come from the foot, go to eye. Yes, Kirby. Yes, what is it?
Can I do math papers? But like,
Of course you can. No, of course you can. Yes.
but you haven't shared any. Like, is there any that you're
I've
gonna
never
share?
shared any math paper to you. I
Yeah,
am
the
so
PDF
sorry.
thing.
Okay. Before we continue there, let me confirm one thing. Your math class or math teacher does not give you any sort of a mini revision package for your upcoming exam. Nothing at all.
I don't know, maybe. But
What
today
do you mean by you don't know? Tell me.
I don't know. I didn't go last week, and today
Okay then.
she like
See?
she went past what Sester. She's doing 3.3, and only
Nonsense.
3.1 Sester.
Oh, headache. That's not because she want to, most probably. It's because the exam schedule is not under her control.
She told me
But
life goes on. That was the reason.
the more practical reason is because she cannot determine the exam schedule herself. Then she also cannot wait. She cannot wait because then she'll lose time to explain the other one. In summary, life goes on lah. Messy lah. Okay, good. Whatever, right? Okay, so and she does not give you, or you don't know. Okay, good. So I'll share with you. Just make sure that I haven't cannot be right. Keston, are you stuck?
Okay.
All right. So you're drawing the mirror. You should be drawing the mirror on the wall, right? Here's the wall. Okay.
The half mirror start from the top or the bottom?
All right. So think about I'm trying to hint you without doing it for you. I'm trying to hint you. Okay. You're trying to draw the mirror first before the ray diagram, which usually makes sense, right? I guess that's what you usually do for most questions. I'm telling you that is not a good idea at all for this question. That's a very, very subtle hint. Do you need more hints? Kirby, I share with you the e-math one already. Oh, you're drawing the image. I guess that's fine. Do you really need to draw the image? Oh yeah, because that's why they teach you. I don't think the image will help you here also, but it's okay to draw them lah. It's okay. I just don't think it will help you lah. The ray diagram is what will help you here. Again, if you need more hints, please say. Don't wait too long.
How do you draw ray diagram for a flat mirror?
Okay, which is to say it's just a reflection, correct? Kirby, just to confirm, you can access the folder now. Is that correct?
I'm trying to, but like,
Okay.
isn't it? It's all empty.
No, O-level e-math should be full of things.
I'm trying to find.
O-level e-math.
I clicked
Okay,
on all
you
of
go
them and it
to
said the folder is empty.
share with me. Go to share with
Yeah.
me. Go to share with me. You should see O-level e-math.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely shared with Lin Kai
I
Jing.
clicked on the 2021, and
No
it
problem.
says the folder is empty.
No,
and
the folder
they
is
all
there.
say.
The folder's
Oh, wait, actually, never mind. Yeah, I see
yeah, I think
now.
they refreshes lah. Okay, good, good, good. Just choose something they have answered here. Okay, just check first. Okay.
Okay.
Now back to you, Keston. So I was giving you a lot of hints at the start already. You seem to understand. You start from the head. You end at the eye. Correct.
Yeah.
So start array, which is from the head. From the head. There you go. And then should end at the eye. Do something like that. Never mind where the mirror is. This will mess your mental a little bit, but just pretend that the whole wall is a mirror. Just pretend that this is all mirror. Just pretend for now. Again, draw the ray diagram from head to eye. I think you should ignore the image also. Again, totally messing with you, right? Okay, nice. Okay, something like that, Keston, right? Okay, good. Okay, I'll assume that you're drawing it nicely, and then this reflection is angle, same angle. Okay, I'll assume that. Okay. So this is your first reflection. You're guaranteeing that the person see his head. Clear?
Yeah.
Do the same for the foot lah. Guarantee that this person see his foot. Okay, totally not so good drawing, but as long as you make this angle the same, later on it'll be fine. Okay, now why is this not so good is because then your mirror looks smaller than this low. Your minimum mirror is here. Your mirror must be at this point and at this point and any point in between. Why? Because you want to see your tummy also, ma. Correct. Here's the eye and here's the tummy, something like that. Which needs the mirror in between. But you're saying that I don't need the mirror here, lo, and I don't need the mirror here, lo, because I can see my foot and my head already. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, but why is it exactly half?
All right, now to answer that, please, I must ask you to draw your ray better, please. Your ray is not so good at all. Okay, please draw your ray better, please. Like really make it like a reflection. There wasn't a reflection. The angle was too different. Please make it so that it is reflection. The angle is the same. Kirby, are you okay so far?
I was trying to find a question, but I just
All
found
right.
one.
Yeah, you should put in all the topics like the Venn diagram lah, the cumulative frequency lah, right. Let's put the volume. Much nicer, Keston, right? Okay, so the appropriate technique for you is, because this is a straight line, you just take the perpendicular bisector lah. Same, and then you should aim for this point, and then you will get an equal angle, correct? A perpendicular bisector. Make sense?
Yeah.
Same thing with the head to eye. You should take a perpendicular bisector, aim here, and then you will get a much better ray diagram. So far, so good? Now, why is this important? Because if you're explaining using drawing, your drawing better be good lah. Okay, so this is now the mirror. Now, can't you see why it is half?
Yeah.
Why? Because this half, this half, something like that.
How do you explain in words?
Fair enough. So now the concept is out of the way. You don't need the image. You don't even need the mirror. You're just doing the ray diagram. All right. So to me, because I have the drawing, I don't need a lot of words. One more time. If my drawing is so good, I will use my drawing to the fullest extent. I will do something like this, for example. So I'll call this the point E lah. Eye level is point E. I'll call this point H, and I'll call this point H prime. I'll call this point F, and I'll call this point F prime. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the mirror, I'm giving you the barest sentence. The mirror length is H prime, F prime. H prime, F prime is half HF, correct? Because the angle of reflection is the same. And therefore, I'm pointing to the triangles. I should do this also. F double prime, H double prime, right? Angle of I'm sorry, the angle of reflection. Because the angle of reflection is the same. The angle of reflection is the same. And for the F double prime must bisect EF and H prime must bisect HE. Now, do you know the special meaning of the word bisect? Just to check.
No.
Bisect is not dissect, right? So
Yeah.
it's not dissect. Bisect means you cut exactly into half. So it's a very nice word I usually use if I want to just say, cut in half. All right.
Yeah.
This is just me explaining the drawing. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. If I don't have the drawing, I can attempt to answer this question without drawing, without formula, but I'm not sure it's worth it though. I'm not sure it's worth it. And my sentence will definitely not be the sentence that you see here. Definitely not. Okay. But if you want to see how it looks like, you can request and I will try. Okay.
Okay.
It's up to you. So Kirby, how come you erase all the questions? Sorry, I don't get it. How come
I
we're going
realized
back and
that
forth here?
the people didn't have the answer sheet, so you have another people.
Yes.
Um,
So I think part of the 2020 does not have the answer key, like the one with star. Maybe you just do 2006 or 2017. It doesn't matter. The year doesn't matter. One. Okay. Okay, Keston, do you have another question in physics? Happy to answer.
No more already.
Oh, this. Okay. All right. Okay. So then what do we do then? Chemistry?
Yeah.
From papers?
Finding question.
All right. Sure. Yeah, I'm back. Very good. Did anybody ask a question just now? Okay. Keston, do you have trouble putting in the questions?
No. I'm still
Okay.
finding.
Sure. Median. Okay. Kirby, for this answer, whether 15 is correct or not, they want to see certain lines drawn.
Oh,
Because they say use the curve. Of course, you are using the curve. I totally understand. But they really want, okay, you're drawing a point, which is nice. But let me tell you what they want to see, okay? They want to see this line. No, they don't want a point only. They want to see this line, and preferably you draw an arrow like that. So they really want to see this line, and then the line ends up at 15, starting at 20, and of course you still should write 15 lah. Still clear, yeah? Okay, and then you do that 10, and then you do 30, and then you do 20 minus 10. They want you to draw that lines, and then you will be very happy. Because they will be happy. Again, this is not something that you should do just for school. This is something you should do for O-level. And that's what they are looking for.
okay.
Sorry, Edmund, did you say something? Okay, Caston. Yeah, okay, sure. Looks fancy. Okay, looks fancy. If you want to try, go ahead. If you have a question, ask me immediately. Right?
How do you know which one it is?
Okay. You're talking about question 1, am I correct?
Yeah,
So your answer, I'm sorry, what is your question? Sorry.
like I know it's with S, but is it P or Q?
A very good question. Have you done the reactivity series? You have, right?
Yeah, yeah.
More reactive, well, more reactive lah, correct? More vigorous lah. That's what you learn based on reactivity series. Less reactive, less
Yeah.
vigorous, correct or not?
Yeah.
Done. Sorry, P or Q? P or Q? P, correct, because group 1 is more reactive than group 2. That is the answer, P and S. Good. Very good. Kirby, just to check you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a code.
Okay. Sure thing. This question is definitely part of your test, lah. Definitely. Fancy question. Fancy question. Esther, you can do on paper, you can type, you can say, but tell me if you have a problem, okay?
What's the difference between bromine and chlorine?
Well, what comes to mind is almost immediately the reactivity lah. Correct, correct. The reactivity of one guy is more than the other guy. So when you learn the reactivity series in electrolysis, you kind of learn the non-metal reactivity series also. Again, am I making any sense right
Yeah,
now?
it's
Okay, then who is more reactive, chlorine or bromine?
chlorine.
Chlorine is more reactive than bromine, and so you kind of just memorize the trend. Like you go up, it's more reactive. You go down, it's less reactive. They are still reactive. It's just that chlorine will be more vigorous. That would already give you 1 mark, and then the explanation will definitely give you another mark. Would that make some sense?
Yeah, but how do you do II?
This is what? Okay. So why is it never 100%? Tell me what you think if you know lah.
Because it will change back to phosphorus and chlorine.
Basically, you're taking the reversible angle, correct? The
Yeah.
reversible reaction always settle at equilibrium. I'm using fancy words, no? Always settle at a certain equilibrium. Okay, for 1 mark, you mentioned the word equilibrium, you mentioned reversible reaction, then you just use whatever other words, it should be fine already. If that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to practice your English sentencing, type something lah, right? Type something and then you compare it with the answer key. Now, you cannot stop at reversible reaction, always reach equilibrium. The equilibrium, you must explain what equilibrium is for the full 1 mark. Okay.
Okay.
In the equilibrium point, for example, in the equilibrium, both the product and the reactant exist. At least you mention something like that. At least lah, at least. Kirby, have you checked the answer? Yo, wow. What's
Not
going
yet.
on here? That's very far. Yeah, that's very. What?
Am I wrong?
You're aiming for 35. I like it a lot. So you whack 20, and definitely I agree with you. I agree with you. I totally agree. I like your working. I like the lines. I like the drawing. I like everything. Go check the answer key and be happy.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, good, Keston. You're deleting the page. Good. I never really asked you, isn't it? So I take it that you have no problem with Jamboard, yeah, Keston? Just checking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How is it, Kirby?
Uh, finding the question.
As in, you check the answer key is correct, right? Just checking.
I'm checking right now.
Oh, right. Yeah, your mic. Yeah, your mic. Oh, is it? Yeah. Cool. Very good. Okay, not the hardest cumulative frequency, but it shows that you understand. Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Oh, blocks and whisker. Like that's just the normal thing to ask, right?
Yeah.
Hester, is that the next question?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you understand the concept first?
Not really.
Okay, so a lithium atom and lithium ion, what's the difference?
One has full valence shell.
And the lithium ion, that's not lah. So you lose some electron lah. Or rather, when you form a lithium ion, the valence shell will be emptied low. If that makes sense, the electron will, be given to somebody else lah. If that makes some sense.
Yes.
Now, isn't the radius, you can imagine the radius of the atom as the radius of the valence lah, the outermost electron. So a lithium atom has that one valence. So there's a certain radius there, you don't know what, but the lithium ion will lose that valence, and therefore the radius is no more that original valence.
Okay.
So does that, help you answer? This is probably a 2.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to practice the sentencing?
Not really.
Okay. Does your school have the habit of retaining your, exam result, exam working, so to speak? Or do they give you back? Esther.
What do you mean by retaining?
Retaining. Okay, I don't like retaining, meaning, okay, Caston, when next time you receive the working and the correction, whatever, I want you to snapshot and send to me through WhatsApp. Then I know what's the problem. This is very important. If not, I'm going a bit blind in helping you improve. Problems in exams are the real problems. It's not just conceptual. Okay, Caston, you help me on that?
For my exam paper.
Not the paper, but the working, most importantly lah. Usually it contains the question also, right? But I want your working and the correction, which happens, later on, not the exam paper.
Okay.
And yeah, you gotta send me that, especially if your school retains the working, which is I cannot help you maximum if I don't have it.
What do you mean by
Yeah.
retain the working?
You know, the server, they release the answer to you. Maybe you discuss it together, and then for some reason they ask it back. They keep it for you. You don't get to keep it yourself.
Oh, they
Some
don't do
schools
that.
actually do that. Oh, they okay. Then no problem. But then once you have it, then just send to me, and then I'll take a look. All
Okay.
right. Okay. I like your answer, Kirby. I like it very much. Okay. Let's deep here. Okay, Kirby, yeah, to make your answer very clear, you must explain which curve is deeper. Is it the chemistry or the math one? You still have to make it clear. If not, you're
Yeah.
making the examiner guess, which is not good, right? Okay, make it clear. Okay, all right, okay. Let's see whether you're correct or not lah. Like the wordings are fine, but let's see. But I think you understand the concept. Okay. Yes, then. Do you need some help?
Yeah.
This is usually the pollution lah, the pollution. So tell me just to confirm that this is part of your test.
Yeah.
Okay. So you understand the no, never mind. Sorry. This is not the catalytic converter, right? Okay. So under the condition in car engine, nitrogen gas can react with oxygen gas lah to produce nitrogen monoxide. They are not explaining. They don't even ask you why is that possible. They just want you, even though they say why, they just want you to use the particle concept law. Collision is where you react, ma. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me ask you something. Nitrogen gas and oxygen gas meet or not under normal condition? Do they meet or not?
No.
They meet lah. It's mixed in the air. Makes sense or not?
Yeah.
So they meet, but they don't react. So what does that mean? Do they collide or not?
No.
They collide because they meet. They are mixed. They collide, they meet, but nothing happen from the collision. This is something that you must understand. Not every collision will result in a reaction. Not every meeting results in a reaction. If that makes sense. Because there's the activation energy, you at least learn that one. I'm using fancy word. The point is the activation energy must be enough. So colliding doesn't automatically mean reaction. That is actually what you learn from the energy, activation energy, enthalpy, exoticity. It is just never explained. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So use ideas about energy and collision. So the first situation is they collide, they meet, but they don't react. Why? Not enough energy, or you use the fancy word, the activation energy is not met. Under the condition in the car engine, which is you may guess how different it is, they still meet just like normal, but now they react. Why?
I'm not supposed to learn catalytic converter yet.
This is not a catalytic converter. Catalytic converter reacts CO with NO. This is just nitrogen reacts with oxygen to produce NO. This is before the catalytic converter. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
Can you answer this question then? I would like to see your sentencing. Are you okay? Ruby, are you okay so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. Of course, a reaction will happen, all right? But strictly speaking, Keston, in this question, you don't have to mention the rate of reaction. Of course, that's true, but the activation energy is what your aim is. The rate of reaction probably wouldn't help too much for the mark purpose, just for mark purpose. Nothing wrong, but not helpful.
Is there anything else for 3 marks?
Oh my goodness, if this is your answer, then it's not enough. First, you have to explain why it doesn't happen in the normal condition.
Yeah, but other than that,
Increasing the activation energy, you at least say, okay, it will be enough to that effect, The temperature or the heat will provide the activation energy needed to produce oxygen monoxide. The word increase itself is not enough. The temperature provides the heat energy. The heat energy will provide the activation energy enough to produce nitrogen monoxide. Okay. Now, you must say, instead of saying rate of reaction, you must say, basically, the particles fly faster. You miss the chance to say that. That will be the other mark. The temperature causes the oxygen and nitrogen particles to have higher kinetic energy or higher speed or fly faster and therefore collide stronger and therefore activation energy. That is what they're looking for. That should be enough for 3 marks. Let me confirm that this is part of your exam.
yeah.
Okay. Kirby, your answers are quite fine. Are you okay or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Part 4 also interesting is application.
What's standard deviation again?
You mean
Let's,
conceptually, is it? You mean
yeah.
conceptually, right? Just imagine it as the spread. Just imagine it. The spread, you say something like the difference between the maximum and minimum. So that is similar to the concept of standard deviation. Standard deviation is a standard spread. It's not the maximum minimum difference. It is something in the middle. It's more standardized. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
So just think about standard deviation as, oh, spread low. So what will happen to the spread? Something like that.
But I need a calculator to find it, right? Oh,
No,
oh yeah, there's
no.
a formula, right?
Oh, there's a formula, which in this case, you will use the table method, something like that.
Okay.
If you forget, open your book and try again. Okay, you need the super difficult formula, and you also need the simple table method. This one happens to be the simple table method. If you want to use the formula, it's also fine. You need to construct a table before the formula. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so either one. So it's good practice, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good 3 marks question. very high concept. You have to know how catalyst works, like Gaston. Do you know how catalyst works?
It's like it speeds up the reaction rate.
No, that's not how it works. It is the effect of the catalyst. But how does he speed up the reaction? You go to lower the activation energy. So he speed up the reaction by lowering the activation energy. This question is, how does he lower the activation energy? He's chasing after the concept very deeply. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you go to speeding up the reaction, you're going the other way, the wrong way. They're not chasing on that direction, they're chasing the other direction. Am I making any sense?
Yes.
So this is conceptually deep, Lu. Again, do you know how catalysts work? By lowering the activation energy. Do you know how catalyst lowers the activation energy?
No.
That's the question. I have to quote something from JC. It will work here also. Okay, in JC, this is just a normal thing. The fancy word is the catalyst provide a different pathway. What does that fancy word mean? The catalyst simply provide a different reaction. Let me show you an example. Okay, for example, you're trying to catalyze N2, H2, reversible reaction, and H3. Reversible reaction and also catalyze. It can also, can also be catalyzed. The catalyst is usually Fe, whatever. So far, so good?
Yeah.
So what does the Fe do? You are not extremely sure how he does it, but what he will do is something like this. He will react with one of the product, the reactant. You learn that catalysts don't react. That's not true at all. It's really not true. The catalysts do actually react with one of them, don't know who. So for example, let's just say that N2 react with Fe, yada yada, don't know what become. Let's call this product A. We don't know that. Product A will then react with H2, which will then give you an H3, so to speak. Now, this is an illustration, not an exact one, an illustration of how a catalyst lowers the activation energy. Because without the catalyst, the reaction is like that. This is without catalyst. So there's a certain activation energy. The different reaction provided by the catalyst, which is this one, there's also another EA, and the EA is lower than the original EA, even though there's two reactions. That's the whole point. He's finding a shortcut to do this, lowering the activation energy. Tell me, does this all make sense or not, Gaston?
Yeah.
This is how you will sentence it. Okay, again, not by drawing. This one drawing will not help because we don't even know the reaction. Can you do the sentencing? Okay. Are you okay?
Can I skip the question? I like
Yeah, but I'm
I need a
I'm worried that
calculator
you
to
cannot
do.
do it. And
But I
where's
need
your
a calculator.
calculator?
I think I left it in school. I don't have it.
Oh, nonsense. Tomorrow you better practice before the exam, okay?
Yeah.
You understand me? You
Yeah.
gotta practice the typing first, if not you'll forget, Okay, promise me that.
Yeah.
Of course you can skip it. What else can you do, right? But again, promise me you will practice it. Next question. Come on, come on. The alternative pathway is the reaction. No need to double. That's just saying that the same thing.
Can you write anything else?
If this is 1 mark, no, yeah. This is 1 mark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, all the fancy words are there, lah. The concept is also correct. That's it, lah.
Then how does the catalyst affect the collision rate?
Complicated question to answer. I can give you a rough idea. Would that be okay? Would that be okay?
Yeah,
Only a rough idea.
yes.
Okay. So in the original, I use this example again. Let's look at the original reaction. The original reaction implies that N2 gas must collide with H2 gas. That's the implication, correct?
Yeah.
How does catalyst affect that? Well, catalysts do not make them collide more. No. Catalyst itself makes the collision different because the reaction is different. So now instead of a gas colliding with a gas can now collide with a solid. A catalyst is usually solid. Why? It's not a liquid. Why? Because solid is very dense, which is to say colliding with a solid is easy. That's why it's a catalyst. Make sense?
Yeah.
The gas collide with the solid, easier said and easier done than colliding with another gas, no matter how dense. And then you have this thing sitting on the catalyst surface, which will wait for the other gas to collide, which again should be quite easy to do. This intermediate product do not fly one, or rather, it doesn't have a chance to fly. He will collide again with H2, and then you have the H3. So does catalyst change the rate of collision? Most probably, but it always depends on the reaction lah. Just saying. Okay, it's just a totally different subject. Even the JC don't talk about that. Now, why do you ask that? Just curious?
That's a question asking for it.
Nonsense. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can answer it using that concept just now. Basically, it affects the rate of collision if it affects by just simply providing a different reaction and by the fact that a catalyst is usually a solid, which means it's very easy to collide with. I will just answer that way and don't think too much. That must be the last question, the last part of the question,
Yeah.
when they kind of test you. So yeah. And they give you only 1 mark for a difficult question, right? So that kind of thing. Right? So just for fun, just for fun. That won't repeat again. Kirby, okay, yeah. Okay, Kirby. Kirby, this question is easy for you. Are you sure you don't want to practice the Venn diagram instead?
I'll find a Venn diagram question later.
Okay. This is, however, quite easy. Okay, you can try. If you want to practice probability, do something harder. Then again, you cannot because you are limited to chapter 3.1. I think your probability practice is quite enough. Yeah, don't do too much today.
Okay.
You're not perfect, but you're good. You're not doing any tree or any table. Now I'm a bit worried. Now I'm a bit worried. Okay, I take back my comment. I think you should focus on this question. Either a table or a tree would be much better, I believe here. It'll serve you well for ABC anyway. Logic. Oh, your logic is interesting, isn't it, Herbie? Not bad. Not bad. I mean, for A, you managed to do it quite well without any table. Quite happy, quite happy. Interesting. Are you okay? Are you okay? What is your question, Tester?
How do you find the critical angle?
Find the critical. No, sorry, they tell you the critical angle is 42, correct?
Yeah.
Tell you, right? So, wait, how come you're confused with this one? Okay, I've never teach you physics anyway, right? Okay, so, aren't you, I'm giving you a hint, okay? Aren't you supposed to figure out the entrance angle?
What?
The entrance angle. Sorry, let me track back. Which surface would you be worried about here? Which surface? Tell me. There are at least 4 surfaces in this rectangular glass block. Which surface are we supposed to focus here?
Highest one.
I agree with you. Do you realize that there is no entrance angle there? Where's the entrance angle? You gotta calculate what.
Yeah.
So what is the entrance angle for that top surface?
Like 50.
And you would be correct. Now, if the entrance angle is 50, is it important to compare it to 42 or it's not important at all?
Find TIR.
Then TIR, which is A and gone and B is gone lah. It's left C and D, correct?
Yeah.
That means you know that already. I'm sorry. Do you already know that? Or it's just C and D?
It's just C and D. I don't know which side it
As
will
in,
reflect to.
no. The difference between C and D is only the third surface lah. Correct. The third
Yeah.
surface lah. The third surface you just have to think again. Like, is that dense to less dense or less dense to dense?
Oh, okay.
Okay, and if you think like that, you cannot probably find the angle lah, because the angle dependent, but you can at least assume it's going out because C and D is going out. You just have to figure out whether it's going towards normal or going away from normal. Right? That should answer your problem. Difficult question, definitely. Good question. Kirby, are you finished with the probability? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Ah, really? Yeah. Oh, I'm a bit surprised. Have you checked the answer key?
Uh,
Better check first.
yeah.
So is it correct?
I don't know. The like for part C, it gave me some like graph.
Question 12C gives you graphs. Really? Wait, are you
Answer
saying that your question A and B is correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I am very impressed that you're correct. I'm very impressed. Now, C, you do not know whether you're correct or not.
What's this mean?
You're supposed to do this. I don't think there is any way for you to do C without this table. This table, by the way, this table is supposed to help you in A and B anyway. I am very impressed that you can do correctly without this table. This table is as
I
simple
see.
as dice 1 and dice 2, that's all.
Yeah.
And then you just circle which one the sum is prime number, that's all. And then you count. I don't think your answer is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, I don't think you should do it without the table. It's much more difficult. Now, in exam, you must understand the table is not just useful for C. The table will always be useful for A, B, C1. That's how they construct the question. If you do one table, it will benefit you throughout the way.
Okay.
I would suggest that in exam, since you already have this idea that the examiner will do that, you should just think about what tree or what table to construct, then everything should be easier, not just the last one, if that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't suggest doing it without the table as much as I'm very impressed with you, as much as I'm very impressed. Okay, I don't suggest that.
But it's easy.
Yeah, but then you have to let go the harder part. I keep telling you already. The hard part cannot be done. It's also
What hard
still
part?
1 mark.
Which hard part?
The last question of the probability is always the hard
But you
one.
can do that without the graph. It's 5 over
No, you
12.
can't. No, you can't. You were wrong.
But
What do you mean?
it's
You were wrong. What?
but no, but like after realize because I read the
Yeah
question
lah. That means you
like
read the
after
table.
realizing I
No.
figured
You
it
cannot
out.
use the excuse. You cannot use that question. You
But
cannot use that
I
logic
didn't see
one.
the sum. That's why you know.
It doesn't count, man. It really
Oh,
doesn't count. Okay, either your reading skill is wrong or you didn't use the table, but just be careful lah. Just be careful lah. The table is supposed to guide your thinking.
yeah.
The table will fix your reading. Now, in this situation, it's up to you, Kirby. Whatever your decision is, I want to see the result lah. I want to know what happened lah. Okay?
Okay.
After the exam, of course. Right. Now, do some vent, please. Do some vent. Sorry, Keston, are you having trouble with the ending part?
What? No,
The ending is dense to less dense, right? So away from normal or approaching normal?
no, I finished the question.
Oh, you finished. Okay. Tell me what's the answer.
C, I think.
Very good. Feel free to ask more physics questions. I'm gonna make it bigger, yeah. Keston. So I don't get the question. I don't get what you're asking. So tell me again, what's the question?
Sorry. The graph they give you starts from the bottom. But why
Yeah.
example 3 starts from the top?
Oh, you don't know this?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a very important concept. Okay, so the clue is something like this. They give you time 0 and then times 0.3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Please notice that the graph itself is not time. This is not time. Why am I saying this? Is because they can actually give you displacement and time graph. Correct or not? They can give you that.
Yeah.
If they give you that, the question no longer is difficult. But this question is difficult because they want you to deal with distance displacement. But at the same time, they want you to do it in a different time. 1 times 0, 1 times 0.3. So that is the challenge of this question. So far, so good?
Yeah.
How do you simulate the passage of time? In a distance graph, okay, because there is no obvious axis, it is quite easy. First, they must tell you, not you, they must tell you, is the graph moving to the left or moving to the right? You cannot tell, they must tell you. They don't tell you at all.
I think just
Huh.
assume it's to the right.
Which is a very bad assumption, but they don't leave you an option, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do both to show you that the answer will be different for your information. Can you? So I'll do the right first and then I'll go to the left. So I'll assume first is to the right. Okay, let's assume that. The question is supposed to tell you this. Okay, this is very bad of the question. So now I'm going to work out something. I'm going to work out what is 0.3 second in terms of period. I need to work out the period and I cannot do it from the graph. The graph will not give me any period. Instead, how do I get the period from the question? What's the period?
I think 5.
Oh, come on.
No, 4.
Now I'm slightly worried.
No, I cannot see it because it's very dark.
5 hertz. Just zoom out. Just you have to zoom in.
Okay.
Just zoom out. Again, the graph will not give you the period. The question itself must. Does the question give you period?
Yeah. I mean,
Which
the
is?
frequency.
Correct. Which is the period will be?
1/5. 0.2.
Which is 0.2 second. Compare that with 0.3. Oh, now I know immediately that this is obviously 1.5 period, which is also 1.5 wavelength, correct?
Yeah.
Also 1.5 wavelength. Okay, now I know this guy will travel 1.5 wavelength to the right in 0.3 second because I'm assuming it to the right. Making sense?
Yeah.
So here's your wavelength. So now I'm going to make this point. Kirby, just checking, are you okay? I don't see any problem.
Yeah, I'm looking for a question.
All right. Let's call this point E, right? And then E will travel 1.5 here. That's E, correct? E at T 0.3 seconds. So now I draw the graph, or more likely, it's very easy now to imagine what the graph looks like. Like that, and then like that, and then like that. So your concept that the graph flip is wrong. The graph didn't flip. The graph travels because of the passage of time. It is wrong to think of the graph as flip. Very wrong. Do you understand what I am saying here?
Yeah.
Now, if I travel to the left, it looks a bit weird, but I'm going to do that for you. So happen the answer is the same. This is so happens, okay? It is not always that the answer is the same, okay? Don't bet on it. If I travel to the left, I can choose another point. I can choose point E, fine. I can choose point E, and then I travel 1, 2, 3, and then this is E, and then I can draw again, and then I can continue the or I can just choose another point to make my life easier and travel that to the left. So happens left to right, here's the same. This is so rare because the wavelength is 1.5 exactly. If it is not 1.5 or 2.5 or 3.5, that means this question may be intentionally designed this way. Whether you travel to the left or to the right, the answer will be the same. The question is being fair. I guess I'm guessing. I don't know. Don't bet on it.
Okay.
Have I answered your question?
Yes.
Now, this graph moving thingy is a very important concept. Has your teacher ever explained it before?
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Oh. If you could find another question like this, go ahead and ask. Or any sort of question and wave that you don't understand, just ask me. The MCQ is usually tough.
Okay.
We're just checking that you're okay. Yeah? Okay. Now, Keston, my first time teaching you the lens. Just to confirm that you have no problem drawing the accurate thingy,
Yeah.
the part A lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your teacher will not explain it this way, so I will. There are 6 areas. Only 6. If you master all 6, no lens question is too hard for you. Now, what do you mean by the 6 area? Just a random one. You have your F, you have your 2F, correct?
I know this part.
Okay, which is to say this is region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Region 6 is infinity. Your teacher will not use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but your teacher will also always do all these 6. Make sense?
Yeah.
Region 1 to 6 is just for convenience purposes. Now, let me test you if you say you understand. Which region will never have an image? Which position will never have an image, no matter what?
The infinity.
Do you know that? Wrong. At infinity, you will always have an image, and the image will be at the image focus.
No,
That's
second.
wrong. The second, good. If you put your object at the focal point, you will never form an image. The image is at infinity, whatever. Now, is it possible that that is the answer for B?
No.
Then, I guess my question is why not? Why can't it be the answer?
Because it's not sharp, but it's still image.
No, you're fair. You're fair. When I look at question 7A, I don't think the focal point is at 5. No, you're absolutely correct. Okay, now let me show you. Now, 5 centimeters seems a bit, how do I say that? Seems a bit close. I'm guessing that the focal point is not 5, is bigger than 5. You will know that from A. Make sense or not? A will give you the focal point, which is something very important.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, they ask you for it. So I'm going to make an assumption that maybe the focal point is around 10 centimeters. Right? So now we're at region 1. No, that's my assumption. We're at region 1. Now, where is the image in if the object is at region 1? Or what's the characteristic of the image if the object is at region 1?
Magnified.
Yes. What else? You're correct. It's magnified. It's also upright. Correct. And one last thing, it is?
Virtual.
Yes. Could this be another possible answer?
Yeah.
Something like that. This is my assumption, though. We must find the focal length to make sure. Which is why the first part asks you to do that. Kirby, are you okay? Yes, Keston?
No, if it's virtual, that means it's not sharp.
No. When it is virtual, the screen will still capture some ray. Make sense or not? The ray will still go to the screen side because the screen side is here. You know what? Never mind. I'll show you. I'll just show you. Just a minute. Yeah. I gotta share you something. Screen. Just a minute. Gonna share with you a screen, right? So because this depends on accurate drawing. So can you see my screen and can you see the lens simulator?
Yeah.
So I'm putting the object in region 1, right? There you go. Okay, there you go. So as you can tell, for example, the image is behind this virtual, right? So far so good?
Yeah.
Now annotation. Allow annotation for you. Now the screen will still be here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter where you put the screen will capture a certain ray, correct or not? The gadget will capture this ray or this ray, and this ray, because it is not, converging, it is it's a very blurry image, but you'll get something. You will always get something because the ray always exists, if that makes some sense.
Yes, yes.
Okay, clear, yeah? If you want me to explain more, no problem. Do you want?
No.
Okay. Right, I'll stop my sharing. Interesting. Interesting, Kirby.
Am I correct?
Yeah. Your median is definitely correct. And your interquartile, I think the process, wait. Oh, 26, right? 26, yeah, okay.
I am right. Yeah, I'm correct.
I think your 26 and 41 is correct. I think
Yeah.
that's what matters. I'll share for you the link for you to play around. It is very useful to discuss the harder questions, so maybe you will be able to use it next time. I'll paste it on the Jamboard. And I'll also paste it on your WhatsApp. Maybe you're not bad, you know. Not bad.
What?
You're not bad.
Not
Obviously, you
bad.
understand. You're not
Not
bad.
bad.
Obviously, yeah, you're not bad. Yeah, obviously, you understand the topic.
Yeah.
Please stay with me after the lesson. I want to ask something, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Yes, you're saying, Keston?
I'm not.
You're not. Oh, you're not. You're not. Sorry, you're not. When you do two branches, Kirby, it's great, but you gotta draw the probability of both branches also. They are not the same, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Oops, sorry. What is your question, Keston? First thing, Kirby. Good. Do you have a question, Keston?
Still,
Sure. Oh. Well, Kirby, you still made a mistake. I mean, I thought you avoided it, but I think your
Well,
reading is also correct, but conceptually, I think you missed something. I cannot say. Very
huh?
minor mistake, but I
Why?
thought you didn't make that mistake, which You didn't, and then you make a mistake. Your last answer, okay, I'll just tell you, your last fraction is a mistake.
Is it supposed to be over 24?
No, that's the over 23 is the correct one. It's not replacement.
Then which one's wrong?
15 over 24 is wrong
Why? Oh, yeah, 15 over
because the
24.
orange is not replaced. Ah, see, you didn't, you read properly, like correct, but I think conceptually you missed it. This is
Yeah,
more
yeah.
like a conceptual game. So just be careful. They all have all these tricks.
Which fraction do I take? Do I take the AA or the OO? Or do I
What do you
multiply
know?
both together?
Oh, no. Do both lah. You must AA plus OO. Makes sense or not?
Oh, yeah.
AA plus OO. Okay, good. Keston, again, what is your question? I'm reading the question already. As in, what is your question?
How do you find focal length from the graph?
A very good question. Well, at which region is the image very easy? Tell me.
The image very wide.
Very easy. Region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of that region is so easy in that sense. It's so simple. Which one do you think is the simplest region?
5.
No,
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 4.
definitely not. As in 4, 4. 4 is 2F. Why is 2F a very simple position to do? Because
Just inverted.
no, come on, region 3, 4, 5, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6 always
I
inverted.
mean,
Come on. But 4 is not just inverted, it is also
same size.
same size. And what?
Real.
Real. And because it's same size, if the object is at 2F, the image is also at 2F. Correct or not?
Yeah.
I'm giving you a lot of hints already. Come on. Come on, I'm asking you to think about region 4. I'm describing region 4 for you. I'm describing a very important feature of region 4. No?
No.
Screen sharing again. Okay, can you see?
Yeah.
And yeah. So am I at region 4?
No.
The 2F. Now tell me, where should I move?
-8.
Okay, now obviously that's convenient because you know where the focus is, so you know where 2F is lah, correct?
Yeah.
8 and 8, correct or not? 8 and 8. When you know the focus, you know where 2F is. Having said all that, come on, region 4, region 2F is the only place where the object distance and the image distance is. That doesn't help you.
Sure. How do I
Yes,
do the
Kirby?
question? How do I do the question without a calculator? It's not. I can't.
Maybe can't. Okay, I'll check. Maybe cannot, right? Wait.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
The
Which one?
the B1.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. You just write lah. I know you cannot, but you must at least write 15.
Oh,
Look, at least you can write the working, so I know that you're. Or you check the answer key afterwards, lah, because the answer key will have what? Will have then this plus that, lah, right? It's a AA plus OO. So you write that down and then just check the answer key, lah. No need to worry about calculator. Okay, you just use several time for the at least one fruit apple. So you have to write that down and then write down something like, and then you can get the answer key. Very good, Keston. Make sense?
Yeah.
The region 4 thingy is only my way of saying things. I don't think they'll accept the word region 4, but I hope you understand. You can also say at 2F lah. That's more sort of a formal presentation. The point is you understand. That's the important thing, right?
Mm.
Good. Fancy question, huh? Fancy question. It feels that your next question is correctly. Why are you in doubt? You are correct. It's fine.
But like, how do you? Is there like a easier way to do it?
No, the answer is no. A mirror will always rely on ray diagrams. What else can I say? The mirror question before ray diagram. This mirror ray diagram. Any mirror ray diagram. Ray all the way.
Oh, what if there's two rays? I mean, what if there's two mirrors?
I can make for you the question, right? Just ray it out lah. I mean, in the reflection question just now, you have to deal with three surfaces. You can do it, right? Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, I'll give you a periscope. A periscope is supposed to have two mirrors, correct? They put it in a nice angle, right? There's a mirror, okay, 45, whatever or not. Then I'll give you the object lah. So now the object is like that, lo. Okay, I'm gonna give you a fancy schmancy object. Okay, the eye is here. Now you draw your ray diagram and you tell me what's the result. Okay, Kirby, you're saying that one of the fruit is apple. You're going to choose which one? Which one are you choosing for the at least one?
I just times the OA, the A's probability, and the second A for the AA.
Don't get it. Let me show you something. Let me show you something you understand, okay? Okay, again, let me show you something you understand. So in part A, you understand that it's AA and OO, right? Correct or not? Now, whatever they ask, we must refer to the tree because the tree tells everything. The tree is the most, just the best thing. So if you say at least one of the fruit is apple, then at least say AA, AO, and OA lah. At least say that.
Oh yeah.
Or even better, say not OO. The not OO is a slightly better method. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So what is not OO is 1 because everything is 1. 1 minus the OO lah. The 1 minus OO is 9/24 times 8/23.
Oh,
That is a
yeah.
shortcut. That's the not method. But nobody stops you from using the AA plus AO plus OA also correct, no problem at all. That you must understand. Okay, clear? Clear, yeah? Clear, yeah? So I think that's how you should do B lah, by relying on the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, the angle part is makes it a bit difficult, right, Keston? The angle part. You gotta figure out the angle part quite more clearly, lah, right? But your drawing is correct. Your drawing is absolutely correct. That is the final answer. Just now it was wrong. Keston, did I answer your question? What happens if there are two mirrors and whatever?
yeah.
Just trace the ray. It's not that you don't have any problem, right? The question can be very difficult, but there is no other way but to trace the ray. That's how it is, right?
Will they ask you if it's not 45 degrees?
If the mirror is of 45, yes, and you must therefore do an accurate reflection diagram. It's rare, but therefore you have to rely on your protractor law. Just make sure you have your protractor, if that makes some sense.
Okay.
I can tell you that they don't like to do that too much, but hey, what is your goal for physics? For physics. What is your goal for physics in O level?
A,
Which A? A1 or A2?
see how.
What do you mean by see how? Goal means goal lah.
Okay,
Not the result. Not what's your result. See how result. Go.
like see how for this term.
And nonsense, this guy. Okay, never mind. Even if you want to score A2, even if that's your okay lah, A2 lah, whatever, be prepared though, prepare some protractor. That's all, right? Just prepare it. For tomorrow. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay. Guys, time is up. Keston, any last question?
No.
Good job for the questions. I'm happy. Those are good and interesting questions. I will see you next week, Keston. All the best for tomorrow. Kirby,
Yeah.
is that okay? Any last questions?
No.
I'm very curious. I'm very excited about your e-math test. Right.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened, okay? Tell me what happened. No matter what, remember one thing, Kirby, you do not have to manage my expectation or make me happy. Do you understand?
Yes.
I am happy only when you're happy, and if you're sad, I'm sad. That's just how it is. All right.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Just talk about it tomorrow. Okay. Maybe please practice your calculator on the standard deviation calculation tomorrow.
Yeah.
You nonsense. Okay. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
But